Alright guys, today is Father's Day and I'm out here in my neighborhood trying to spend some time with my kids, and while at it, of course, get some footage. Today we're gonna talk about this guy right here. A good friend of mine who also happens to be a subscriber and a follower of the channel, you know who you are. I'll refer to him as Mr. H. This right here actually belongs to him, and he was gracious enough to lend me this piece today so I could have a better understanding of why this piece is so unique in terms of its settings, the design, the quality. It's just the nature of the condition of the environment itself. As much as I love the leather bands, and I like to keep that in my rotation as well, it's very difficult to have that going, especially with the weather, going on here. But even with that being said, there are certain pieces that it just works really well when it comes to a leather strap. And, from my previous review as well, we've talked about it, the Omega Speedmaster. And yeah, that thing is really just amazing when it comes to strap changes. And the other piece that I could think of is gonna be the Panerai. One of the things that you can notice here is this, and this is a different model. It's the Luminor Duet, and this is not exactly the model that you think of when it comes to Panerais, but I believe that really makes this piece stand out. I think this is an excellent piece that you can add into your rotation, when it comes to your collection. And why this Panerai is actually very different from the other Panerai models that's out there. So to kick us off, let's start with the specs of the watch. This PAM1046 comes in at a diameter of 42 millimeters, which is considered on the smaller size in the Panerai family, but don't worry, the watch will fit most perfectly. This has the automatic mechanical P900 caliber with 23 joules that gives you 3 days of power reserve, which is more than sufficient for most. The watch reports in with 4.2 millimeters in thickness with a lug width of 22 millimeters, which again makes the watch extremely easy to wear, especially under the cuff. The body is made mainly of this highly polished steel that gives it a glossy look for that refined, that high-end piece appearance. Now, currently, there are 18 variations of the Luminor Duet on the website, which is ample to give everyone that is interested in this piece a pick of their own. So, one thing I could tell you is I actually did have a Panerai in my collection before. The first piece that I had was actually one of the norms, if I were to call it that. I had the PAM1046, which comes in that very well-known sandwich case shaped dial, 47 millimeter size, so which was extremely big for my very small wrists, to be honest with you. I knew that I was gonna wear large, but still I wanted to get that model when I started out, my collection with a Panerai. I was still kind of stubborn, thinking that this is the true model that I should stick to. And then once I had it, I gave it a go for a little over a month, and I realized, yeah, there's absolutely just no way for me to really rock the piece. And I actually ended up flipping that one. And, I do miss it, to be honest with you. As large as that watch was, I realized that is the shape that, what Panerai is really well known for. I want a Panerai back in my collection as well. And this model right here, the one that we were taking a look at, the model Duet, I believe this is a unique piece, a unique, testament to the Panerai body, the collection itself, that actually allows you to keep it in your possession if you are confident that you are going to be okay with taking a piece that is not the main piece, the well-known piece, so to say. Mr. Houston, he wears this really well. He's got a very good style, just his daily style when it comes to work, for casual outings and everything, and he can really pull this model off. I've seen this on his wrist, so many times. And every time that I look at it, I just, was in amazement as to how beautiful the watch was and how creative, it is when it comes to pulling it off with the style that you own, so to say. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna be a good person, to really rock this model. But nonetheless, this really here, a really good piece, a beautiful piece to keep in your collection as well. And yeah, of course, the kids don't want to stay home, so I ended up coming to the pool, which actually was a good thing because it kind of helped me remind myself. So even though this is a Panerai, it's different in the fact that it's not very water friendly. So remember the PAM1046 that I told you guys about, that I owned a little while back? Well, so that's actually the model that a lot of people think of, when we are talking about, a Panerai. The case shape itself, and most importantly, it's referred to as the diver's watch, the underwater watch. But the funny thing about this 1046 right now here, it's not very water friendly. It's more of I guess a daily wear, dress style wear watch. And again, the 1046, oddly enough, only has water resistance of up to 30 meters. So is it kind of odd that, I brought this 1046 here, out into the swimming pool? Well, I guess we could say that. I mean, again, this is not the most water-friendly watch, but does that mean it's dangerous, to have this around, I guess, like any form of water? I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't recommend swimming with it or let alone diving with this, but, just for like, these casual activities with the family, I think it's okay. Plus, the most important thing is that, the watch, it just really looks good. Still really hot. Yeah. So about the watch, I mean, what can I say? Really, an exceptional piece that I would definitely recommend to anyone that's interested in looking to get a Panerai. Yes, it is different. It's not a conventional Panerai that you would first think of when you're thinking about the brand. But again, at the end of the day, these are all toys. You're supposed to enjoy them, albeit they're expensive toys. But I think the most important thing that you want to keep in your mind is that you get what you like and how it fits you best. And like what I do with all my videos, I guess I could share 3 of the favorite things that I like about this piece, as well as the 3 things that I wish, I guess, this model could improve on. Not necessarily a negative, but just something to keep in mind as well. So yeah, about those 3 things that I mentioned to you, I mean, I gave it some thought. This one is a little tricky. Well, I guess I could start with, the things that I really like about this piece. The fact that it's 3 days power reserve, I mean, that's more than ample. And considering like what most pieces still like, go around like what, 2 days now? I mean, 3 days, really, nothing to complain here. And I guess, the shape, the overall design, it's a Panerai, from miles away. If I look at someone's wrist and I see the shape, I mean, again, I'll be able to tell right away that timeless design, that has been tested and proven, giving it its, I guess, like unique identity. And then, of course, knowing that this is a Panerai, the amount of straps that you can play with, I mean, it's going to be sensational. And I guess in terms of the things that I wish the watch improved on, to be honest with you, I can't find 3 things. The only thing that I would like really consider is the fact that, again, we talked about it while we were by the swimming pool just now, is the water resistance. I mean, knowing that this is supposed to be a diver's watch, or I should say a diver's watchmaker, Panerai, 30 meters, yes, is very shallow. But again, that's totally fine. Let's be honest, like how many of us are really truly going to use this to go anywhere even like, close to like 50 meters? Not really going to happen. So I think that's it in terms of like what I really liked about the watch. And to be honest with you, I am very tempted, in picking one up for myself. And yeah, thanks Mr. H. I enjoyed this one a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing and borrowing more pieces from you as well in the future. And hey, if you guys like what I do here, just let me know. Reach out to me if there's a piece that you want me to kind of look into. Or better yet, if you have something that you want me to review for you as well, feel free to reach out to me. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one.